back and welcome to my November to be read pile. These are the books that I want to get through in the month of November. Without further ado, I'll jump into some new releases first before I talk about some books from my to be read cart. So let's get into them. The first one is Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is a very popular one that a lot of people are going to be very excited about, and it is the sequel slash prequel to Legends and Lattes, which was a very cozy fantasy book that everyone has been up in arms about, including me. I love that book. And this one follows Viv, but before she got the coffee shop started in Legends and Lattes. So this is following her when she's like 19, I think, and she is talking to this guy who owns a bookshop. Beyond that, I don't know how it progresses. I don't know if there is romance or not, because there was a sapphic romantic subplot in Legends and Lattes. So it would be interesting to see Viv when she's a bit younger. Personally, I did hope that it would follow different characters to her now that we've got her story. Obviously, with the coffee shop in Legends and Lattes, I was kind of hoping that hers would be packaged up and done by now, but I'm interested to see where this goes. I don't think I'm going to love it as much as Legends and Lattes, but I'm still excited about it nonetheless. I think this one comes out on the 7th of November. Also coming out on the 7th of November is the sequel to Fourth Wing, which is Iron Flame, and I have reserved this at my library because I have a whole review of Fourth Wing that is also spoiler-free, FYI, and that book just surprised me. I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, because characters who go to a school to learn how to ride dragons who are in the midst of a war, sign me up. It was so much fun. It also had a romantic subplot with a little bit of steamy scenes in there too, so you know, what's not to love? You've got steaminess, you've got romance, you've got a character who calls people on their crap instead of just hoping it doesn't happen or goes away. So Violet stood up for herself, which I really respect, and I'm keen to see where this goes in terms of the world building, because that was the weakest point I found in Fourth Wing. I'm a primarily fantasy reader, so when I pick up a fantasy book, I expect it to be very dynamic and well built, but Fourth Wing is mostly about the characters and the romance, at least in the first book, so I'm keen to see where the politics and the world building take us in the sequel. So 7th of November as well for that one. And then this next book is technically a new release, but I should probably have it by the time November rolls around. It comes out on October 31, and it's Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, which is the third in a companion of the Bright Falls trilogy, and it follows Iris. Iris has had a lot of failed relationships, and she doesn't really want to date, to be honest, and she goes out on this one night stand and it ends very badly. And then the next day she goes to this town play because she's like, maybe if I can get into a play, I can rejuvenate some of my creative writing again. And when she rocks up to this play, she realizes that the girl she was having a one night stand with is part of the play, and the girl says, "Be my fake girlfriend, I really need your help." And so it's going to be a fake relationship story, and I feel like that's going to bring a lot of tension in the good way. I'm looking forward to it. I loved the first two books in this series, so I'm really hyped about reading this one. And then if I didn't have time to get to it during October, because I'm filming this kind of mid to late October, I want to read The Justice of Kings. I will keep putting this on a to be read list until I get to it, because I really want to finish it by the end of 2023. I don't want to have a lot of stuff on my to be read cart left over at the end of this year, and I'm doing pretty well. I've only got a few things left, so I need to keep powering through and go for this one next, because I think I could really enjoy this one. I think it's about a main female character who has a male mentor, and they unearth a conspiracy or a sequence of conspiracies around the murder of an aristocrat. And it's this character looking back at how they investigated and the politics linked to it from a future perspective, where she's got more knowledge and understanding of what actually happened. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that all feeds together. The sequel's also out too, so I can just jump straight into the sequel, which is a good thing. I don't like waiting for fantasy sequels because then I forget all the world building in between. And then really aligning with my goal of trying to finish my to be read cart books for the most part is Foundry Side. I am really loving City of Stairs, and yes, I know that's a trilogy, but I also want to start his other series as well in Foundry Side, because this follows a thief, and she has been tasked with almost the impossible job of stealing an artifact from a highly guarded warehouse. I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I love a good thief story. It's like a sci-fi fantasy blend, I think, because City of Stairs is very much a sci-fi fantasy blend, and I'm loving that. So I think I will really enjoy this too. The writing style is fantastic, the pace is excellent, and it's just so detailed, and I love it. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out too. It is a long book, but I think I can do it. And then speaking of long books, it would be really great if I could actually pick myself up and continue reading Robin Hobb. This is the second book in her Farseer trilogy. I've also got the third book with me as well, and I would ideally like to read both of them during the month of November. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think if I tell myself they're both on my to be read pile for the month, and that means I need to actually get some pages down for either of them, then I could motivate myself to do it. I think I need to set myself like 50 to 100 pages a week or something, and I might be able to do that. This one obviously is the chonkiest. She's long. So if I can get through most or all of this one, I'll be happy. But if I can even start this one, I'll be even happier. I clearly love an underdog, which is what VIDS is. I'm looking forward so much to continuing his story because I cried several times rereading book one. I have already cried rereading some of this and I'm 180 pages in. I have a lot more tears to go, but it is worthwhile because I love this series so much and I want to continue and read to the live ship traders and then the Rainwilds and the rest of this series. So I need to finish these. And that's pretty much it for the physical books on my TBR because I feel like I'm going to have a lot of library holds coming at me during the months of end of October and November as well. I've reserved a lot of things, which makes me nervous because I tend to just bat them all off depending on what my reading mood is, but hopefully this one comes available because I'd like to try the audiobook, and that is Wolfsong. This is basically my favorite book of 2023, and I read it a few months ago, and I read its sequel, Ravensong, as well. Heartsong, the third book, is already out, but it's being republished in this new edition on the 1st of February next year, so I do have a little bit of time if I don't get to reading this month again. That's fine. I genuinely don't mind if I don't get to it soon. I want to, but I don't mind if I don't get to it. So this is a paranormal werewolf romance set in the small town of Green Creek, and it's just beautiful. The found family dynamic, the support, the emotion. I feel like all of these characters are real. This book is honestly just incredible and I would very much like to revisit it. If I hate the audiobook, cross your fingers that I don't, but if I hate the audiobook, I'll be reading it again physically. I have borrowed it on my Libby app, so we'll see if the audiobook comes in time for November. I'm not sure if it will, but I'll let you know. And I think with Wolfsong, that was the last book that I'm technically aware of and planning to read during the month of November. A lot of things tend to come up in my Libby app that just completely throw my reading plans out the window, so I hope that doesn't happen. I've also got some books that are left over from October that I'm hoping to finish during October, but we'll see if I get to them. Obviously, I'm still reading The City of Stairs, but I'm over halfway through that one, so I'm hoping that I'll have it finished because I'd like to jump into Foundry Side, even though it's not the sequel, it's a new series, but moving on. I've got Loveless as well by Alice Oseman. I'm also halfway into this one. And then I also have another fantasy book on my to be read pile, which is The Lost War, and I'm a third into this one too. I've made decent headway on all of the books that I'm currently reading, but will I have them finished by the end of October? Nobody knows except future me. So this is hopefully what I'm going to be reading, bar having to finish any of the others. Thank you so much for watching this chaotic video. I'll talk to you down below in the comments. Let me know what you're reading. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.